All right, good morning, good morning. Thanks again for joining us at 1 Million Cups. Grab your coffee, head to your seats, and we will get started. How many of you out there have already enjoyed an event for Tech Week this week? Nice, a few of you. There are events going on all week long for Tech Week, so be sure to go to techweek.com/kansas./city, you'll find it, and check out the full schedule of events. We're really excited to see the Launch KC competition happen on Friday. A lot of former 1 Million Cups presenters will be vying for that big prize. So good morning, my name is Kyle. I'm one of your community organizers. We are spread out all over the room today. Can you please raise your hand if this is your first time at 1 Million Cups? Excellent. Thank you so much for joining us. So a few new faces in the crowd. Here's the deal. We'll have two entrepreneurs present about their business. Our expert panel will ask the first round of questions. Then you will have a chance to ask questions as well. So be sure and listen closely. Be ready to ask hard questions and provide good feedback. I'm going to introduce you to our expert panel now. Here they are.
Hello, everybody. I'm Ryan Weber with the KC Tech Council. We represent about 150 tech companies in the region doing workforce development, policy advocacy, and helping connect tech companies throughout the region.
Hey guys, good morning. My name is Nathan Kurtz. I work here at the Kauffman Foundation in the Entrepreneurship Department. Thanks for being here. As many of you know, and we'll talk more about it later, we're competing with Fargo this month. So thanks for being here, and bring your friends next week. We'd love to beat them.
Yeah, thanks for mentioning that, Nathan. Yeah, all September long, we're in an attendance showdown with Fargo. So let's really fill this room in the next couple weeks so we can be sure and take home the prize. All right, I'm excited to introduce you to our first presenter. Please give a warm welcome to Glenn with Prestio. Good morning. Can everybody hear me? Is my mic on? Check, check. Is it in your pocket? I think you turned it on. No. Okay, is better? Hello?
Okay, there it is, all right. So we've all been there. Whether we bought one car or we bought several cars, we've all had that feeling. I'm trapped in the dealership and I can't get out. So good morning, I'm Glenn Dake and I'm co-founder, CEO of Prestio, and I'm excited to present that today to you as the Amazon of car buying. So what is Prestio? It's the one-stop platform that allows car buyers, new and used, the ability to shop, finance, trade, and drive fully online. So my journey, automotive as a lifelong car guy, started back in 2009, getting ready to buy my next car. I had the same pains that many of you, pretty much all of you, I'd imagine, have experienced. Those same pains drove me as soon as I could to start my own dealership from scratch, to understand how to attack those pains and solve those pains. So here we are 4 years later, hundreds of customers served across the country, a lot of lessons learned, and we're excited to present Prestio as the evolution of my previous successful ventures in automotive and technology. A summary of what we're looking at: our team, myself and a co-founder, very advanced technical co-founder, blockchain expert. We have the experience with the other executives on the team. It really ranges, what we like to say, from Lamborghini to Lending Club. So what we're building is a first-in-market combination of what's called a just-in-time inventory engine on the dealer side and a direct fintech lender for automotive, enabling that Amazon experience. Advanced technology enables you, the consumer, to have it all in one place, but this model, importantly, does not disrupt the traditional dealership model. Do we have traction? Well, like I mentioned, several years of transactions at this point. We actually have millions in sales, fully online, car buying and finance through a manual process. We've actually delivered vehicles to 42 different cities around the country, and we are partnered with an $18 billion automotive conglomerate to help us scale. So at the center of every car buying experience, I like to say, is a big red pain point. This pain might be different for you, it might be different for somebody else, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of opaque, there's a lack of transparency, a lot of surprises, and really this stops you from having that Amazon-style experience because of the way that this automotive game is set up today. A lack of innovation exists from a lack of an Amazon-style experience, and that's what drives our team to figure out why and how to get around that. The existing experience costs real time and money to consumers, and really this affects millions of people, including pretty much everybody in the room. So our solution at a high level, Prestio can be thought of as an auto trader-like experience for shopping, a Rocket Loans by Quicken fully online financing, and finally an Amazon experience, that e-commerce that everybody in the room has probably grown to love and trust. So back to the pain and now our solution. One of the things that a lot of people don't realize, and I didn't realize before I started a dealership, was half of the problem is in the dealership. The other half is actually in the sense that the separate building is controlling the finance experience in the lender. So because there's two buildings, one that's originating the car, selling it, and one that's controlling the finance in two separate buildings, that's a big silo. It's about 100 years old, and we intend to knock that down. As Prestio combines that dealership experience, that dealers partner with us, and that fully online lending experience, now you can have the Amazon experience. And looking at our three high-level things of what we intend to do, offer you the freedom of choice to control and shop at your pace, offer you the idea that you're not running all over town, you're not dealing with the dealer back and forth, and you can do this all fully online. Those extra costs of time and money are now gone. And finally, it innovates the industry because we're the first in market to actually combine these with our special team. So the automotive market in the US is massive. It touches nearly every American. It's a $1.3 trillion market. And even if you take the people that want to buy fully online and who need financing, which is only about 25% of the American US market, we're targeting that massive $360 billion opportunity. So like any good entrepreneur, I know I have competitors. And like any good startup team, our team studies these competitors fiercely. We break our competitors into three different components. What we call traditional dealers, large dealer groups like CarMax. Everybody's aware of CarMax. They have a lot of market power. Second would be Carvana and Vroom, what we call new form retail. These are startups out there, venture backed. They're attending to do what we're doing, but they do it in a little bit different way. And finally, some new entrants, what I call new form auto finance, such as AutoGravity and AutoFi. So again, at a high level, we look at ourselves and say, okay, how are we different than our competitors? Well, unlike CarMax's and Carvana's, we take a just-in-time approach to inventory. They hold inventory, we don't. I've played that game, it's a losing game, unless it's augmented by a lot of other revenue streams. If you look at AutoGravity and AutoFi, they're not a true fintech that's actually originating loans online, like Lending Club, like Social Finance, Prosper. You guys might have heard of some of these companies. The ability to actually control credit and originate that online, tie that to the dealership experience, which is very credit-centric, is our key differentiator when it comes to competitors. So really, if I look at what we're building as a competitive advantage for everybody else out there, it's the idea that we're building an end-to-end solution. Our product is our competitive advantage. It allows the consumer, these four experiences, as we call them, to actually have that end-to-end one-stop solution. Let's concentrate on shop. Everybody's used to this experience. I call this the auto trader-like experience. Imagine an AI-powered shopping experience that now is bringing vehicles that you can afford and that you want to actually shop from, as opposed to the 20,000 drop-down menus. A finance experience, I've hit on this pretty well, but it bears repeating. A one-stop finance solution that we control that can enable any kind of credit origination is very, very powerful because it's happening in other verticals like online mortgages, Rocket Loans. It's happening with Lending Club. It has yet to happen in automotive. We have the team to bring that to the world. Finally, trade-in, an important part of the trade-in process, which really impacts the credit and the car sale itself. We enable that fully online. This is a sideways picture, as if you're going to upload the picture of your trade-in without having to step foot out of your driveway. And finally, drive. Our drive experience is very special. Not only do we offer in-store or at-home delivery, and we've been doing that for years, we also can now bolt on some e-titling and registration, eliminate that trip to the DMV that we all love. And the auto finance experience is therefore tied to your auto insurance experience. So everything, as we say, to end-to-end, truly end-to-end. So while our team is poised to take over the world, today I'm presenting to look for the right investors and partners who really believe at our stage what we're doing and want to partner with us and grow this thing so we can take over the world. So again, my name is Glenn. This is Prestio. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and I'm open for questions.
Glenn, great job. I think this is the second time this week I got to see your presentation.
Yeah,
It
that's
gets
good.
better and better.
It's longer.
And this matches two things I love, technology and cars. I purchased cars online. It was a great experience. I just recently purchased a car at a dealership. It was a horrible experience. And I won't say which dealership, but clearly this is going to happen. People are going to be buying everything online. It's going to get shipped right to their door, whether it's in a in a room situation, you're going to be delivering those cars.
Yep.
Obviously, there's a lot of competition. There's a lot of factors in play. How are you going to be successful? How are you going to rise above all the other competitors out there that have raised all these dollars, millions and millions of dollars for marketing, for infrastructure? So I think that's probably the first question everyone wants to know is how are you going to do it?
So yeah, absolutely. Great question. That's what I really highlight the idea of. I'm kind of the guy that came in. I was a Navy pilot before I started this 4 years ago, and I'm not entrenched in the industry. And I'm also stupid enough to think like, wait a minute, maybe if we combine these two things, and it turns out I've recruited to my team industry experts much smarter than me in automotive, much smarter than me in fintech, and they're both telling me, hey, the credit experience drives the entire experience. Vroom does not control that experience. Carvana does not control that experience. Somebody who does, interestingly, is CarMax. CarMax originates, they built their own bank, and they're their own dealer. They're the only people in the world really that have done that successfully, and they are only able to originate 40% of their customers. So really at the height of, if you look at this as a big picture, you say 80 to 90% of consumers, most everybody in the room here, needs financing to purchase this now $35,000 thing. Finance controls the experience. It impacts the trade-in. It impacts the car sale price. It impacts the warranty you can get. It impacts everything. So having a fintech lender that's not some lead generator and having the dealership environment fully online that dealers can now use, that's our difference. So I look at it from three things, high level. We partner with dealers in a just-in-time environment, and we control the lending fully online, which dealers, by the way, love.
Glenn, great job. How do you actually get customers to you? I mean, I think it sounds like you're putting all the pieces together in a really thoughtful way, but how do you actually get a customer to come to you?
So the same way that I've been getting them for years, right? So in my first venture, I was bootstrapped. I didn't have much money. I had to be very scrappy about how do I get a customer? How do I get them to believe in me? How do I get them to purchase? And how especially do I do that completely sight unseen across state lines in many cases? Really, that's the power of digital marketing, right? So we have two main channels that we've been using successfully, and we're looking to power those with some AI partners to get that. But really, you'll never see a billboard. You'll never see a blimp. You'll never see radio spots, TVs, all the print, all that kind of stuff I haven't used for years. I don't believe in it. If I had a whole bunch of extra money, I might put some billboards up just for a market launch. But at the end of the day, targeted ROI from digital marketing, throw some AI power behind it, and then direct mail. The data exists out there for identifying who in the crowd here today is ready to buy a car. It's called big data, right? That exists. There's data partners we've been using that for years. And so that's the same way that Carvana's find their customers, that CarMax is find their customers, the best dealers out there.
Yeah, I read something this week about regulation coming to the auto financing industry because a lot of bad people have found their way there.
Yes.
It's like the next payday lending situation in
Yes.
America. How do you avoid looking like if you're providing a service tool for financing to make it easier, more streamlined, more successful, that may throw up a red flag. How do you avoid getting lumped into the group of bad lenders and working with just those that are good?
Yeah. So what he's referencing is what's called the subprime market. We've all heard about that from the mortgage industry. That, of course, impacted our economy quite tremendously. So the way that we're going to market, to kind of give you all a flavor of what we're going to do, is we're going to concentrate in luxury vehicles. We know them well. We've been selling them for years online, up to exotics. We're also going to concentrate on prime and super prime lending, right? It's the idea of the default risks. All the subprime things are about 2 or 3 credit tiers away. Over time, the power of fintech, which is great, as you study fintechs like Lending Club, things like that, they can originate to almost anybody, and they're actually making the credit reporting histories almost obsolete with enough machine learning and all these sort of geeky terms. Long story short, the underwriting is individually controlled by us. What type of customers is controlled by us? If we want to stay away from the bad actors in subprime lending, we just don't go there until we figure out a way to make that cost effective and fair to the consumer.
What's next for building your team? Like, what's your very next step as you start to grow?
So we're closing out our pre-seed fundraising now, and our next step at that point is to just basically scale with sales and marketing and get to the venture capital level, and that's our next step. And then obviously that comes with a dealer development team, so we need to be able to sign up dealers, partner with dealers, and then grow some of the technology that we're bolting on. As you can tell, I always like to say at Prestio, it's not we're not curing cancer, but there's a lot of moving parts. So there's a lot of technology that needs to come in and out via API.
Thank you, experts. We're going to turn it over to you for questions, so please get your hands up. We will start up front.
Nice presentation.
Thank you.
And nice concept. This is, in a lot of ways, a little bit of a poster child for showing how to take a complex and multi-party transaction and convert it to an online experience. I'm assuming you're doing it successfully. So I don't buy cars that often, but I was thinking about some of the things that I also think about when I'm buying a car. How do I accessorize it? So let's say I want special wheels or whatever, so that aspect.
Yep.
Then there's the extended warranty.
Yep.
And then finally, often who I buy from is conditioned on what I think the service experience is going to be after the sale. And have you thought about how to build those parts into this? And some of them you probably have already.
No, fantastic question. So in two parts, right? So the first is the aftermarket. Absolutely, we're not there yet. We intend to bolt on, and that's really from aftermarket providers and what we call OEMs, the manufacturers. And that's all dealer installed type of stuff or third party installed. So that really falls into that drive experience. The very end of that is, okay, let's customize your vehicle. A lot of opportunities for revenue for us at a business side, but a lot of opportunities for the consumer to be able to plug in from the tier 1 level all the way down to the mom and pop, figure out who's good in each market to be able to customize that vehicle, absolutely. And then the second, if you remind me, we're looking at the idea of dealers and servicing and that relationship, absolutely. So at a high level, like I said, one of the biggest competitive advantages we have is the idea that we understand, I as a dealer understand dealers, and I understand there are really good dealers, and I understand they're really bad and some in between, but I also understand their pains as a customer, so to speak. So our tech platform enables them to own their customer. We originate the financing, they own the vehicle sale, and therefore they own that extended service customer in their local market, right? So one of the things that we study, one of our competitors that's doing really well in this aspect is called Carvana. They launch market to market. They're a local, maybe people in the room haven't heard of Carvana because they haven't launched here. They've never run a single Super Bowl ad. They're extremely well backed, and they're actually a public company. They just went public on Wall Street. They launch market to market. I love that idea of launching market to market, and we'll just have a sort of moat built around us with dealers that are getting revenue and customers from us. And so we can continue to take that online experience and funnel it offline to our partner dealer where they own that customer. And just like Amazon, they pay us for the transaction fee.
Question here up front.
Hi, Glenn. Nice job. I think you're smart to focus on the higher end of the market, too. So a couple quick questions. One, I didn't see eBay Motors as one of your competitors.
Sure.
I'm curious, eBay Motors, there's financing available, there's inspection services, there's delivery. It's all disparate. So is that maybe what's different about you, is that you're looking to have one experience versus have all these different pieces of it?
Sure. If very, very savvy to pick up on that. What I'd never say that we're competing against is AutoTrader, Cars.com, CarGurus, eBay, TrueCar, I can go on and on. Every one of those is not an Amazon transaction engine. Every one of those is a lead provider. The biggest thing holding back the automotive industry is every time somebody has a new idea, they look at it from the automotive industry, a dealer standpoint, they say, I need better leads, more high quality leads. They need to get in my store. Sears is just closing, 300 stores this year, right? So Vroom and Carvana don't have stores. They're transacting now, each one of them, $1 billion of cars fully online without a dealership store. So I'm not a lead engine. eBay Motors is not a competitor of ours, if that makes sense to you.
Question in the back.
Hi, good job. How are you going to adapt to the decrease in car ownership and the rise of subscription car services and autonomous vehicles and the change of how people interact with cars and how they're not going to buy them as much as they were before?
Here's a great shameless plug. At my store today, as part of Tech Week, we're talking mobility, future mobility, at 3 p.m. today, downtown the Crossroads, what's called Pure Pursuit event space. So if you're attendee of Tech Week or not, come on down. I'm part of a panel. People much smarter than myself are going to talk autonomous. I'm more focused on the e-commerce transaction side. However, I always say this transition to, there's different levels of autonomy and all this kind of stuff, but that transition is going to take at least 10 years. Whether the technology or the consumers need to get ready for it, the fact remains that the average used car on the road right now is 12 years old. So the buying cycle will take 12 years to flip completely. So we have about a 12-year window, 10, if people get really excited about autonomous and they have extra cash and the financing exists. So from our perspective, again, as a fintech, if we control the financing now and the consumer behaviors shift, we'll have enough market power to shift towards fleet leasing, towards autonomous and some of those other things. But yeah, come again, shameless plug, 3 p.m. today, Pure Pursuit event space.
Question right here.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm definitely like a potential customer. If I go to your site, can I look at all the cars with the prices and then compare? Because that's what I'm looking for, because that's the Amazon experience.
Exactly.
I understand the fintech side and why that's an advantage, but it seems like you're still tied to a dealership, and if you're really undercutting the price, I'm not quite seeing how that's all gonna work.
So on the price aspect, I always say we're targeting, and this will expand over time, but we're targeting what I call the Amazon Prime crowd. They need convenience, they're willing to pay for it, right? So we're not here to be the lowest cost provider, we're not a Walmart model, we're a true Amazon Prime model. We're selling luxury cars to super primes that don't want to drag their kids to the dealership for 6 hours, and they're willing to pay me a couple $100 extra bucks, and the dealer wins because they're moving that unit, and we're taking that inventory pipe. On the subject of inventory, it's not just dealerships, right? I, as a dealer, have a unique relationship. I'm a tech company and a dealer and a fintech, got it. But I have a unique relationship to access hundreds of thousands of cars in what we call the gray market wholesale. So dealer lots are filled with retail cars. They need to move some of them. They'll wholesale them to me. On the other hand, there's hundreds of thousands of cars that I can buy wholesale. We can recondition operationally with our partners. We can deliver to you for a retail price and what we call a fair retail price, right? I've never sold a car that's higher than market average. I always try to beat that price. And historically, given our model, we have, and we made outsized profit margins doing that.
Another question up front.
Sure.
Good morning, Glenn.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming to A Million Cups. So, couple of questions. Do you have $150 million of backing right now?
I do not.
Okay, the reason I asked that is BP did,
Oh, I know.
and they burned through $150 million plus another $100 million, $250 million. They're being sold off this week, by the way, in pieces.
I know.
Okay?
Yep.
Car dealers, that's a very crowded space. If you go to the NASD convention, there's 1,000 vendors selling products and IT services and marketing service, lead generation, websites, you name it. It's a very crowded space.
Absolutely.
And you just named about 15 things that you want to do, but do you have the capital to do it? Because there's other competitors that have washed through billions of dollars in this space. And part of the reason I think is, and I'd like you to address this,
Sure.
the state franchising laws are designed by the car dealer industry
Yep.
to keep competitors out of their space, including the manufacturers. So do you see that changing?
I don't, right? So we always like to say if Elon Musk can take a rocket into space, land it, and reuse that used rocket and save the world with his solar technology, but he can't sell a Tesla here on the plaza, good luck, right? Good luck. $1.3 trillion industry. BP, I know those guys. I know their story. I know where they are now. I know where they're all going as far as parting out the industry. So because I'm a dealer, I now get a seat at the table with other dealers. I've had that same seat at the table for 4 years, right? I've brought in people, like I said, smarter than me to say, am I crazy in building this thing thinking we can change it? And they said, the difference here is you're partnering with dealers, you're not here to disrupt them. BP, absolutely there to disrupt dealers. Carvana, absolutely there. They market at it, and the dealers put them out of business in about 2 years on average. Carvana, is going out of business. They're burning more and more cash. You can, check that out. They're a public company. They have one profit center. They sell used cars, and no dealer wants to touch them. No dealer will buy their trade-ins. No dealer will do anything with them. I come into town and I say, I understand your pains. I'm a dealer. Don't worry about litigation. All the laws. If you want to sell a new car through our platform, the same way that Daewoo sells a TV on Amazon platform, you own the customer at the end of the day. It's your paperwork. It's your warranty. You just pay us a transaction fee. Oh, and by the way, you have to use our financing, right? So now we've locked the dealer in to their profit streams and what they're used to without disrupting them, right? So that is the key difference between BP, held inventory, peer-to-peer, was not a dealer, did not partner with dealers, and got basically put out of business in about 2 years, right? We're all the opposite of those things. I study those guys. I like what they're doing, but they had a really flawed business model. Does that help answer your question?
Question on your left.
Over here behind the TV.
Okay.
How you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
Kind of twofold question. One, what are you planning to use your seed financing for? Kind of what are the metrics that you're trying to hit there? And second, are you planning to stay in KC long term?
Yeah, so first question, Seed financing is pretty simple. It's powering my team of about 8 executives in sort of the business development, operations, marketing, sales, all that kind of stuff in our existing dealership, right? So we're actually transacting now. We're taking those existing customers and putting them on a beta testers in the platform. So building the platform and then finally building the fintech lender. And so 3 high-level things: dealership operations, sales and marketing, and then build the tech and the fintech. Oh yeah, second question, absolutely. So the good news is, I can make the play, and I'm a Navy veteran, so I actually have a unique relationship with a lot of VCs across the country, including Silicon Valley, given there's a lot of focus, as everybody in the room is aware, on sort of entrepreneurship and helping the veterans, right? So I'm plugged in those ties, and the idea is we can set up an office as quickly as possible in Silicon Valley, plug and play accelerator, and we'll be moving on that in a couple months at discounted rates, and then we just get paraded around, and there's our Silicon Valley office. Business development personnel are out there. Our headquarters will remain here because I can make the argument that we're the center of the country. We have great tech support, but more importantly, we can logistically get a reach to almost anyone in the country, one-stop flying, et cetera.
Question in the back. So you've definitely touched upon this as you've answered a bunch of questions, but can you describe to me your sales process and what your sales team is doing?
Absolutely. So I don't know if anybody in the room's ever called Amazon to try to get them to sell you something, but that's the car dealer way, and a lot of people at an e-commerce level, they sell themselves. However, this is a very complex process. It's a new car, it's a used car, warranties, trade-ins, all that kind of stuff. We're looking at some chatbot partners that are AI powered for the easy to answer questions. And then we have an in-depth sales staff either in store or online. So whether you want to interact online with your question about one part of your experience or you want to come down to the store, we'll have, and we do have already, salespeople that are dedicated on the B2C side. Then we also have a B2B sales force to go develop dealers in those relationships.
Last question, Glenn. What can we as a community do to help you?
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, this is great. Number one, just being here, hearing my story. This is the first time I'm kind of, this week is officially kind of letting the cat out of the bag. I see Leslie over there typing away. So we have a lot of fun ahead of us. But really, we're looking for Kansas City support. We can use clients, we can use beta testers, and we can use partners. Mike is our business development guy in the back. Raise your hand, Mike. If you have anything that you think could bolt on this platform, yes, we're pre-seed, right? We understand that. But very quickly, given we have the team in place, given we have a dealership operation, and given we have a fintech that's already being built, we need to scale sales and marketing, and with that, add on features to our consumer set. So we'd love to chat with any partners that are out there.
All right, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody give him a round of applause. All right, so we started something new here at 1 Million Cups, just another opportunity for you guys to connect and get the resources that you need. If our caffeinators could go ahead and stand up, all of our caffeinators, we got one back there. All right, guys, wave your hands. Get connected with these guys. They want to help you. All right. Next is Mug Club. Yeah. All right, raise your hand if you've been here 10 times or more. Okay. Keep your hand up if you have not received a mug. Oh, wow. This gentleman right here. All right.
Good morning. Tell us your name and why you come to 1 Million Cups.
My name is Amy, and I love coming. I love Kansas City. I love connecting with entrepreneurs and just seeing what's out there.
Oh, that's yours.
You get to keep the mug. All right. So we got a couple live announcements. Kyle, you want to take it away?
Yeah, sure. I'll go first. Good morning, everyone. I work with KC SourceLink. We act as a central hub for a lot of the entrepreneurial support organizations in town. We have a very cool event coming up next Friday. We call it the AM Shift. Next week, we're going to be focusing on networking. So we all know that the power to do things as an entrepreneur is all about who you know, but building a network and getting to know people can be difficult. So next Friday, go to kcsourcelink.com/AM-shift and join us to talk about what it really takes to build a strong network and what it takes to make a good first impression and make that a lasting impression. So again, kcsourcelink.com/AM-shift. Grab me if you have any questions. Thank you.
All right, we've got another live announcement. Sally.
Hi there, I'm Sally Williams. I'm with the UMKC SBTDC, and what we do is help people to grow entrepreneurs to grow their businesses, and we especially work a lot with technology-based startups. So we want to tell you about an opportunity that starts 2 weeks from today. That's September 27th, and that's our next cohort of Fast Track Tech Venture. Fast Track Tech Venture is a 9-week class on consecutive Wednesdays to help people that have early stage ideas, whether you're just at the idea stage or maybe you have an MVP or a prototype and you're wanting to build your business. In order to get funding, you've got to understand not only what your product is, but what your business model is, what your financials are. You have to put together a compelling value proposition, and then you have to be able to pitch it. And so in 9 weeks, that's what we help you do. We start at the beginning. We have a speaker every week who's an expert in their field, so either an entrepreneur themselves or IP attorneys, business attorneys, pitch consultants, all kinds of things like that. So if you follow the process, by the time you get to week 9, you will actually be pitching to a real panel of investors to get feedback on your pitch, and you'll be ready to go forward and take advantage of some of the great opportunities for funding that we have here in Kansas City. Most of the top startups in our town have come through Fast Track Tech Venture. Last year, out of the 10 Launch KC winners, 4 of them had been through Fast Track Tech Venture. And I can say, as Beck Abdulayev of Super Dispatch said to me, hey, you know, Sally, when I first came to the class, I just thought, man, it's another class. And then I realized you and Jill really know your stuff. And so, yeah, so we would love to help you. And what's a really cool thing is that if you either personally live in or your business is in Kansas City, Missouri, the city will give you a 90% scholarship. So you end up only having to pay $75. So I've got flyers on the back table. If you're not in Kansas City, Missouri, and you really want to take advantage of it, please call us. By hook and by crook, we may be able to help you get some funding to participate. So again, Fast Track Tech Venture begins Wednesday, September 27th. We'd love to have you here and help you become the next successful top startup here in Kansas City. Thanks.
Thank you. Let's have a warm welcome for our next presenters. Assume, please welcome Saroj and Shaker to the stage.
Good morning. I hope everyone is doing great. And Asun, I myself, my name is Saroj Gupta. I'm a geriatric dentist, graduate of Truman and Harvard. Stayed in academia for 15 to 20 years. So what brings Asun live? As I said, I'm a geriatric. So due to that, I meet a lot of senior citizens most of the time. There are several things which we can say what makes Asun great. Because being a senior citizen, what are we looking for? Our independency. Every day, not every year or every month or every week, every day, 10,000 people are retiring. And that's really weird. Am I going to lose my independency? What are going to happen to me? And the sad point is this: we live in a world where caregiver, our son, our daughters, they are a sandwich generation. Means they have a grandkids, they have a parents. They want to take care of their parents and they want to spend some time with their grandkids. At the same token, grandparents means seniors. They don't want to lose their independency. So we came with Asun. Means we want every senior citizen should stay independent, should not lose their independency. Kids should not worry where my parents are, what's happening to them. So there are several options. You guys will be thinking, why? GPS is there, geofencing are there. Yes, they are. What does GPS does? GPS means we have to track ourselves. It goes on us. Geofencing, not giving 100% independency to seniors. So, and every given moment you will see 90,000 people are missing. all the time we hear silver alert, amber alert. To find a one single person, it takes 12 hours. And how much it costs? $1,500 an hour. But forget about the money, forget about anything. Do we get those people in a good conditions? Are they, when we find them, are they okay? No. Several of times we find they have broken bones, they are not live. Lot of things happens. So what does Asun do? Means it detects your abnormal behavior. It says, let's say I'm going for a walk and I was supposed to go straight and I suddenly took a left turn. It will say, did you see? You haven't taken your normal route. If I am not doing good, I'm not going to respond. So it will alert to my caregiver that something is wrong with me. Immediately, my caregiver can get in action. I will give you an example. What happened to one lady? That was another reason this Asun came live. A lady, a young, nice lady living in a community. She went out for a walk. And she was supposed to take a right turn to go back to her community. But everybody gets senior moment. I bet every person over here, once a while, they get senior moments. It's nothing like that. We have a dementia, Alzheimer's. That's the reason we get senior moment. No, it's a normal, okay? So by mistake, she ended up taking a left turn. What that do to her? Instead of getting to the community, she ended up going to the shopping mall. So she made a phone call to the community. So community people, they came and grabbed it. Here comes our government. Here comes our state laws. Being a community, they were supposed to inform the state that she was wandering. What does that mean? Wandering risk patients cannot have independency, cannot live independent. She got locked in a unit. She lost her independency on a one single senior moment. That can happen to any one of us. All are we getting old? We don't want that. I don't want to lose my own independency. That's the reason we came up with the Asun. And we are in the stage, first stage, where Shekhar is going to tell more what are we doing on stage 1.
Yeah, so we just launched a couple months back our schedule-based notification system. So what that does is that someone can log into someone can log into our portal and set up an account. I was giving a presentation yesterday to somebody and they wanted the applause sign and that, so that's what it came in the. So I forgot to turn that applause sign off that thing there. So anybody can log onto the system and they can get onto the dashboard, make themselves, what happened here? Make themselves masters per se, and then set up some dependents. Forgive me. Make some dependents there. And set up some rules and schedules as to where that person is supposed to be at a particular time. So that way, when they are there, you get a notification. If they're not there, you get a notification. So what happens is that by the time a silver alert or an amber alert is issued, that many hours have passed by. I mean, literally many, many hours have passed by before the authorities are notified. And that causes major strain on the system because all of a sudden we don't know where the person is, where the person was last seen. So hopefully the intent is we're doing this thing. If somebody misses their schedule, if somebody, say my mom is supposed to be at the church at 10 a.m. and she doesn't get there at 10 a.m., I can call right away and say, what's going on? Why are you not there? What's the problem? So those are the things that we're trying to do. And then once we have all the schedule downloaded, then we can download an app on their phone, And that's how we are able to, the system just does in the background, system tracks their schedule, system makes sure that they are where they're supposed to be. If they leave early, if they arrive late, if anything happens to them, then you get a notification right away. So this is a phase one approach of our overall scheme. We are collecting the behavior-based analysis in the background as well. Our intention is that after the phase one rollout, we're going to get into the fall detection rollout. That would be another one where seniors fall on a daily basis or very regular basis. So we should be able to know when they fall so we can provide help before they actually fall, hence trying to limit their fall as well. And then we'll move into the behavior-based analysis. So that's us. This is our team. You can reach out to us with any help. And as a matter of fact, just a shameless plug, as the other guy had mentioned, is that I opened up portal.assoon.com for everybody. Whoever wants to join it and use the services, they can use it. It's open. It's free for now. Thank you.
Yeah, real quick, I think this is a huge market, obviously. There's a lot of technology finding its way into senior care, senior housing. There's going to be a lot of major tech players because the market's so big, as you're mentioning, thousands of people per day retiring. I think obviously the users of this technology are going to be folks like us, those that have seniors in our lives that we care about deeply. We want to make sure they're safe, but we're also very busy, and so it needs to be very easy for us to use. So is this something from a technology standpoint I would have to go in and predict my relatives' schedule, or will the behavior start to show trends? Okay.
That's correct. That's absolutely correct. So all you do is just log on to the portal and just enter your people's name and their phone number, and they download the app. I mean, everything else, system takes care of it in the back.
So they will have to have that device on them at all times.
Yeah, so most of the people now, smartphones have become very popular. That I don't know anybody leaving. My mom, who's 85 years old, and her hands don't work, and she still wants a smartphone to get on WhatsApp and communicate. So that's kind of thing that there is there. So yeah, absolutely.
Excellent.
So will it work with the flip phone or only with smartphones?
Yeah, smartphone.
And if the battery dies on the smartphone, then the tracking's done.
Yeah, so this uses no more power than, even less power. We actually tested it. If you do a continuous monitoring on the behavior base where you're continuously monitoring it, then you still wouldn't have to charge the phone more than once a day as you usually do.
Gotcha. And then I see Jim Baxendale's on your advisory team. Is this a technology transferred out of university, or is this something you guys have developed yourselves?
Something that we've just done ourselves, yes.
Right, great. How do you get out to the customers?
Yeah, so that's a very good question. So this is just going door to door. I mean, literally, this is what we do. We attend all the senior care seminars, conferences in Kansas City area, in any other place. We go speak with industry trade shows. We go out, meet with the community centers, the retirement centers. This is something we love. I mean, this is something that both of us truly love. Knocking at door and getting the no from them initially, and then converting the no to a yes. That's a challenge we absolutely love, and that's a challenge that we look forward to every time.
Okay, one last comment, then unfortunately I have to head out. But this little fun fact about Kansas City, we have a ton of senior care housing advertising firms in Kansas City who market most of the premier properties across the country, if not across the world. It's actually, I mean, we're huge in that regard. I would imagine, being that if I was putting my parents or grandparents into a senior home, the more technology that they have enabled in that home, the more comfortable I'm going to feel. That's got to be an opportunity to look at selling through those housing developments.
Oh, absolutely. And then, right now we provide a telehealth, for example. The GPS-enabled shoes, that's another thing we provide to many different senior communities today. So we have made inroads before we even did this product line for them, yes.
All right, we're going to turn it over to you guys for questions. Please get your hands up. I'll get us started. Who are your competitors?
Yeah, so GPSs, geofencing, those are mainly competitors, any manufacturer that develops those services. I'm not going to mention the Google Maps and then all the location-based services that are going on in the malls, kind of thing, that, as you walk through the malls, you get the advertising from particular shops and all that. But in this senior care, especially in the senior care market that we're focused on right now, we have a lot of geofencing products available. The reason they haven't picked up yet is because what she said initially, that the seniors want to be independent. They want to be mobile. They want to go around. They want to move around. Geofencing limits their ability. It basically forces them to stay in one location. If they leave that location, it sends an alert out to somebody else. That's not the mobility part of it.
Question up front.
My dad passed at 81 and my mom passed at 83, and she was in a nursing home with dementia, so I appreciate very much what you're doing. Here's my question. My parents wouldn't touch a cell phone. Now, I have a road ID. I'm a cyclist. It attaches to my wrist. When I leave, I actually send what they call an e-crumb, so it goes out to specific people, so they know if I'm out cycling and I stop moving for 5 minutes, it sends them a text and it gives them my geographic location. So my question to you is, have you thought about putting something on somebody instead of requiring them to have a cell phone? And I realize you can't, if it stops for 5 minutes, you don't want to send that, but some sort of tracking mechanism like that, because it's on my wrist. And the reason Road ID does that is if you have a fall on your bike, your cell phone might go one way and you're going to go another way. So that's my question.
Yeah, so that's very good. That's something that we've done as well. That's another thing we've noticed, is that the senior citizens don't want to wear a GPS tracker on them. There are a lot of retirement centers that we've spoken with, and they show us the drawers full of those GPS trackers because those seniors don't want to put them on their things. So we've done extensive research on it. We spent over a year of doing the research to figure out what type of things, what type of devices, what type of things that they would actually put on them. Why don't we use those things that they actually put on them today, convert that into a tracker? So those things that are forthcoming.
Yeah, we are working on that. Then another thing, when you said your parents were in a community and other thing, I don't know, it's not, as I said, not dementia, Alzheimer's. Normal people sometimes, because usually communities are very, very big, okay? And they look like same. Once you enter, if you forget your room was on the right side, might be you end up going in the left side. And communities are facing that problem every day with theirs. And they are saying, GPS doesn't work very well, geofencing doesn't work very well, and that's the reason they are excited with this also, because communities are very big and seniors, they get lost into that.
Yeah, and then the device that we're going to build is going to be both for indoor and outdoor. So this is just a phase 1. We're working towards the phase 2 as well. So we're going to have the device that works indoor and outdoors, yes.
Question in the back.
Nice presentation. Can you track successes? In other words, the performance of your application, your technology?
Yes, so we have built in some key performance indicators in the system as well. So we know what's going on and how successful we've done. It's taken us, I want to say, close to 8 months to perfect the system, to make sure there are no false positives and all the sort of things in there. And we provide the information that's absolutely necessary to them, yes.
Question over here on your right.
Hi, good job, guys. In a previous life, I managed Sprint's location products, including their family locator product. The network providers have significant advantage because they have persistent location data on handsets that include the non-smartphone devices. How would you compete with that?
Yeah, so Sprint's locator device, it started very well back in early 2000s, last decade. Things like that haven't been, and I'm not saying there aren't capabilities out there today that people couldn't do it. Very well. But that's the one of the things that we've faced is that Most of the product line, most of the products that companies are developing are towards the millennial generation. I'm very much up for it. I think it's a great idea, but we're forgetting about the senior population, the baby boomer population, the people who have money. And I don't mean to say anything bad about millennials, but we're looking for a millennial generation. We're looking for free downloads. While a baby boomer, they are looking for the security, the safety. And what do we have for them? We've got a telehealth device, and we've got a medicine reminder. Those are the two things. We have so much technology capability that we can make their lives so good, so better in every single term, and yet nobody is forcing their product line to move towards a senior. I mean, all these cell phones that Apple and everybody else is developing, they're getting more and more sensitive. A senior, their skin is wrinkled. Their hands shake. I mean, all the sort of thing that they are there. Nobody is paying attention to that movement, to that. I mean, that's where we want to literally focus on, and we think that if we can help save one life, this is all worth it. In our home also, you mentioned your parents. In our home also, we've got my parents live with us, and her mother also lives with us. So we know the importance of having the elderlies in our home. We know the importance of taking care of them. We know the struggle they go through in a day in and day out.
Question on your left.
Hi. Can you talk a little bit about your online marketing strategy? You mentioned that you love the door-to-door or the business-to-business sales, but can you talk about what your plans are for marketing online?
Yeah, so that's forthcoming. The issue in senior care literally is something that we have found out is that until you really need something, you don't research that thing beforehand. So no matter how many ads I use on Google Ads or Facebook ads or whatever, if the kids don't think that their parents need it, or if the parents don't need it, you don't really click on those things. So most of the advertising in senior care is word of mouth. Most of the advertising in senior care is that, hey, I saw your parents using that technology. That's very good. How can I get that technology for my parent also? So that's word of mouth kind of thing. Once people are accustomed to taking a proactive measures, then the online technology, then the online advertising, the online, all the sort of thing would come in place. So where we have a significant online presence as well, where we have ads on Google and Facebook and LinkedIn and all this sort of thing, but what we have found is that we've gotten more success by actually going and knocking at the doors and giving presentations.
Question back here, right here.
Good morning. I'm a tad confused on exactly which market you're going for here. You keep talking about the care facilities, and yet in tech development in this age segment, we're really focusing on the aging in place group and the people who are cohabitating with family. And how does your product work with that group, which is a much larger group and a group we expect to see much more growth in anyway, in the independent livings?
Yeah, so we're just mentioning, the retirement community because we got a couple examples there, but most of our users are actually living at home, not in the retirement facilities today.
And it works in the independent. That's the reason I said that lady, she was living in an independent community, and she ended up going in a locked up unit.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, so most of our users that are there are living independently at their homes and not in any facility out there. Yes.
And we want one thing. I have done a lot of research. Whenever you talk to any senior, the response comes, "We want to live in this house. We don't want to go to any community." And that's what we want to provide them. We want let them live independently in their house. I'll give you another example. We have a client. The father is 93-year-old, okay? And she put him in the community 2 years back, and community said, "We are not going to take him unless until you get a 24/7, because we are not a locked up unit." And if you will talk to him, You won't say he has a dementia. If he has at all, might be mild, nothing too much. He's 93. He goes to walk every day, 1 hour walk. If you don't take him for a walk, he won't be good to you. Okay? He won't. He needs his walk every day. So, and daughter was so scared, she said, I have to go. I need to make a trip. She wanted to go to Europe with her kids and everything. We said, you go. She went there, she came, she said, that was the perfect thing I had in my life. I was not worried, nothing happened to my father. So that's what we are trying to bring to the community. Kids should not worry. And this is not only problem in America. If you see, it's a worldwide problem. When we are talking about here, when I was at Harvard, we were supposed to do a research, and we were supposed to do a research worldwide aging population. So China, example, they had a restriction, they can have only one child. So now girl and boy, when they get married, now they have 4 parents, 2 each side. And if they end up having grandparents, think about that.
Question in the back.
Yes, I have a couple quick questions. So you have customers right now,
Yes.
and local or national?
Not in Kansas City. We've got customers in Kansas City. We've got customers in Omaha, in Topeka, in St. Louis.
And I don't know, you may have said this, but so what's your pricing model? How much do they pay for your service, and how did you get them?
Yeah, so the pricing model, if you look at the monthly subscription rate for any of these trackers, they are $25 all the way up. We charge $10 a month. So it's very competitive to what's currently out there today. And as far as customer acquisition, we just go to trade shows, all the conferences that are happening in the senior care, where the people come in, the home care agencies come in, they provide services to the elderlies in their own homes. So those kinds of companies are many times able to take our products and distribute it within their clients at home as well.
So you're selling to other distributors?
They're not distributor. They're home care agencies that provide that send home caregivers to a senior citizen's home. And if something happens to the senior citizen, most of the time these home care agencies come to get the blame. So they are willing to spend some extra money to make sure that that extra blame doesn't come to them.
All right, last question. What as a community, what can we do for you?
Yeah, so what we were thinking, just spread the word around, please. Help us get more clients. That's the purpose of us wanting, getting as many users, as many clients on it, so we can start helping as many people as we can.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that wraps up this week. Join us next week. It's First File and Eco Adventure Zipline, and the grand total attendance today was 167, which is about 30 more than last week. So let's keep doing it so we can beat 1 million cups Fargo. See you all next week.